What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 2, at least in a while, of course. Today we have Mr. Smagac as our guest.
The best.
And, of course. And then we have Cameron joining us last time it was just me on here, but we got more people on here now because we need them. So, all right, but let's start off by just saying that the weather has been really cooling down lately. That's
seriously.
That I'm almost getting chilly, outside.
Yeah, bro. I had to have long sleeves on, have a jacket on. It was freezing, bro.
My little girl has a jogathon today at school. Her little 5-year-old body carrying her around a little elementary school track in a dress. Unfortunately, that's what she decided to wear for a jogathon.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
That's really funny.
That is crazy. And I'm the kind of guy who's it's not cold out here because I don't get cold super easy.
Yeah.
But I walk out and I'm like, it's not cold, and then I'm kind of chilly, but I don't wear sweaters ever, basically.
You guys have grown up in Southern California.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, this is one of the things that I've had concerns about with having a small child out here. You guys don't have enough pain instilled in your body.
Yeah.
Of actual cold. And I guess you do get some miserable heat, but actual cold. So cold and blustery it is, and don't worry, I'm thin-skinned now like you guys. We're all the same anymore.
I used to live in Ohio, right, over in that area, so
yeah,
they had
Cincinnati and
Chicago
Chicago
and all that stuff.
Seasons, and we have them here, but you got to drive up to Julian to get them.
Yeah, or Mount Laguna.
Exactly.
Mount Laguna,
yeah.
which are beautiful areas, and it's nice to visit. I love the Big Bears right down the road.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's amazing. I didn't understand elevation until I lived here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The differences that it makes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We live in Southern California where there's no snow. We go up to Mount Laguna, which is not incredibly far away, but it snows up there. So
It's over 6,000 feet, so I mean that's substantial elevation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it comes up here because we're in the place where we get rain and we're like, yes, rain, yes.
Yes.
And then in other places I've heard people are like,
What?
oh my gosh, rain, man. Because
the novelty for you guys, it's not normal.
Yeah.
it's a privilege. It's a
when we get hail, it's like snow for us. It's like, oh my gosh, it's hailing.
Oh,
It's
every
hailing.
year, and it's coming up because we haven't had rain for a while. It'll rain. We'll hear some little Tic Tacs on the roof, and then all of a sudden the class will go silent, and students will look around. I mean, this is how it happens every single year.
Yeah.
okay. We actually rained at my house this morning.
Yeah.
It rained at my house. And it wasn't
rain.
The thing about Southern California rain is that it does not last. It chooses when it's gonna.
Yeah.
Except we got those atmospheric rivers the last few years where it's just days of dumping rain.
Yeah.
And what it seems like from my former outsider perspective to now is that the infrastructure is not really meant to handle rain all the time.
Yeah.
So that kind of gets overwhelmed, and then people aren't used to it driving, so they just freak out. So it's like
I mean, we had a hurricane a few years ago, and all of Chula Vista was flooded. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Mr. Hunsberger shared a meme back then of "We will rebuild," and it was a plastic lawn chair just tipped over. I mean, it's a hurricane, I guess, but it was a pretty light one.
We love Mr. Hunsberger.
Yeah, we do. I've never actually met him, but I just know we do.
He's one of the greatest science teachers ever, hands down. I love him.
Good, but that's the thing.
He does a good job kind of straddling that line because he's definitely he's delivering a lot of content to you guys, and you guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard course.
Yeah.
But then at the same point in time, that a lot of students seem to enjoy his class says a lot. So that to be able to really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The rigor. To have such a rigor in your curriculum and still have a lot of strong student engagement. That's a really tricky thing to accomplish. So good for him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Definitely.
It doesn't feel like school if you enjoy it. So it does not feel like school. And you said you came from Cincinnati, where you actually have seasons.
Where you have seasons, yep. A very cheap cost of living. Houses are.
Yeah.
My brother got one for $75,000, maybe 4 years ago, right before COVID.
$75,000. How big was this house?
It's about the size of my house, my wife's house in Ocean Beach. That was not $75,000.
my house is
probably double that.
My house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and it's almost $1 million.
It is crazy out here.
You can get a house in Texas that's 3 times the size, and it'll be $250,000.
Yeah.
You kind of get what you pay for a little bit, though. That's another way I kind of look at it. I mean, no offense, all of our Ohio listeners, you couldn't pay me to live in Ohio.
That's the thing. Yeah. I know that Ohio gets snow. We do not, unless it's Mount Laguna, of course, which we were just kind of talking about. But I've never actually been to Ohio. The farthest east I've been is Houston.
Oh man, but Arizona is the farthest east I've been.
Arizona?
Yeah, man, I'm like,
you can like really walk to Arizona in like 2 days from here.
You basically could. You basically could because Arizona is like. Yeah, I've driven across the entirety of Arizona before.
Yeah,
it didn't take super long. It took like 8 hours, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, but and this year has flown by really fast for me personally.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Really fast.
I'm the same.
It feels like it should be like week 4, maybe with how fast it's gone by. Like we're almost on Thanksgiving break, and like the semester is like closer to over than it's like been to start.
Hey, and you're lucky, bro. You're a freshman. I'm a senior, so like as the year or as the weeks go by, it just feels like, man, these are my last few weeks here at River Valley. You know,
it's good and bad. I mean,
it's bittersweet.
You're on the doorstep of you guys are both young adults, but I mean, like Cameron's about to be a real junior adult, and with junior adulthood, that's you get more. Privileges and freedoms and kind of your 20s it's a very exciting time for a person. So that's exciting. It does go fast, like as you guys do get older. I remember when I graduated college and I was talking to my friend and we were talking about aging, and he's like Will, I've waited forever to be a grown up, and like now we're like 40, and he was really baby faced and stuff back then, and now he's 42. So he's like, now I love it because he hasn't really. He still looks like he's like quite a bit younger. So life kind of evens out in certain ways. That's for sure.
Yeah,
exactly. But But that's the thing. It's just like getting close to the end of the school year. Semester, excuse me. We're not even halfway through the school year yet. That's the thing. We're close to the end of the semester, and I'm kind of like, yay. But also, I'm like, what's vacation now? I'm like, what's vacation? Like, how do you actually like have fun on a vacation now? Because I came from a school that was small, so But the school is very. I've learned much more here than I learned like the last 2 years I was at my previous school.
Yeah, and that's the thing about River Valley. It's like, it's different from like other schools. You may see that like other schools like El Cap or whatever school you went to, like they're formatted to a way that like, okay, it's a norm, but it's different for River Valley. River Valley is more, it's different. There's a more connection towards like students and teachers, and I just really like it.
Exactly, yeah. And Mr. Smagac, you said you went to Cincinnati for college, right?
I went to Cincinnati for my undergraduate degree, so in history, University of Cincinnati, and then I went to Ohio University for my master's degree in social science, and then I went to San Diego State for my teaching credential.
Nice.
Bit of a long road to be a teacher.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And also, you mentioned in a history class that I was in recently that you had like multiple degrees in history. Like, how many degrees do you have?
Yeah.
Well, social science, history is a social science. Economics is a social science.
Yeah.
Political science is a social science.
Yeah.
Geography.
Yeah.
So social science is very broad, but history is definitely kind of the most significant of them typically. So, that's my master's degree.
Okay.
Definitely, it's a social science degree, but it's definitely very intensive on history, and I really enjoyed it. When you do teach, after a certain point in time, your pay scale kind of stops, or it's definitely strongly diminished if you don't get a master's degree. So you can get a master's degree in teaching and education, or you get a master's degree in your subject, typically. So most teachers get one in teaching, and I got one in my degree. So I have like a really deep understanding of history and social science that I enjoy, and I hope I can kind of convey that to students is my hope.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, the thing is, history can be interesting. It can be interesting. Sometimes it's very...
You make it sound like that's unusual. You would think that.
I mean, sometimes, but it's... Most of the time, for me at least, it's interesting.
Yeah. I really enjoy history overall.
We love history.
Yeah, we love history. I enjoy history though. I just like going back into time and seeing what we've done, especially American history, what we've done as a country, where we were like a colony, 13 colonies under British rule, and now we're one of the greatest countries in the world.
Yeah, we used to drink tea, now we drink coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Some people still drink tea.
Yeah.
They're
Traders.
Suspicious people.
Yeah.
British traders.
I don't even know what sound that button
You
is,
guys totally
actually.
messed up by putting this in front of me.
It's all this new technology.
It's like, let's see what this does.
Yeah,
you know?
let's-
That's kind of. I
let's
actually
just
do
mash
that.
buttons.
I do that on occasion. I'm just like, hey,
Yeah.
what's this do?
Whatever.
What does it do? You know,
Yep.
like that's the thing.
Yep.
You used to not have technology like this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Back
I
in my
guarantee.
day.
I mean, maybe start coming around. Maybe I don't know, Revolutionary War. You know,
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
You know, probably they had stuff like this for sure.
Yes, 100%.
Is this a mixer? Is that what that? And
Yeah.
I don't
Sure.
even, I don't know what to call this aside from a soundboard. So, but yeah.
see, I'm learning. And that is actually something else too that I do try to let my students know. Like, even though I do have this background with having this deep knowledge of history and social science, is that I definitely learn from students as well.
Yeah.
That's a continuous sort of theme in my classes. It's I definitely know quite a bit more than all my students. It makes me sound super arrogant now that I say it. But at the same point in time, I promise you, I still learn from students, and that's a big part of the enjoyment I get from my job.
Yeah.
I'm constantly kind of learning. New information kind of changes my calculations for, history is a social science, and with being a social science, the scientific method does apply in some ways. Except that you'll never have that same exact experience again. I mean, it's never going to be 1939 again. It's never going to be 1971 again. It's never going to be any of these other times. But you can kind of take like some of those variables and like reapply them to the future as we go forward, and you should get similar sorts of results. They're not going to be exactly the same, but that's kind of the that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it is, and that's our podcast. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Let me know what else we should do with the podcast. Just vote on it, basically. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Yep.
Weekend.